Today on Talk to Kimi, I'm delighted to welcome an established true crime author and also fiction writer, Mr. Douglas Skelton. Hello, Douglas.
Hello there.
Douglas, if we look at your career history, you've been a bank clerk, a journalist, an investigator, to a couple of very short-lived stints as a taxi driver and a wine waiter.
Yes, that's true.
Which would you say was your favourite?
Well, none of them, because I'm now writing. So, I mean, bank clerk, I think I was there for a year or so. Never stayed very long anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The longest stint was as a reporter and then an editor of a weekly newspaper. But I've got to say, writing's the best.
You've had a successful lead character in Davy McCall.
Yep.
So that was 4 books that we had him.
That's right, yep.
Now we've got Dominic West.
Yes.
How many books are we likely to see in this series?
Well, the Quest novels are different from the Davy McCall ones. They were always going to be 4 titles. So it was always going to be a finite series. Whereas Quest is more freewheeling, it's different. It's less of a saga. The Davy McCall books started off in 1988, moved up to the year 2000 and explored how Davy McCall changed over the 20 years and how his world changed and affected him.
Mm-hmm.
But Dominic West is a lighter read, it's a lighter approach. It's still got its dark moments, it's still a thriller, but there's no end to it, so it can go as long as I want to write them, or as long as the inspiration is there to write them.
So obviously having 2 central male figures, as you say, Davy McCall was quite harder, Dominic West he's more kind of quick-witted and light-hearted.
Yeah.
Would you say that your characters' names are all going to begin with D?
There's a thought. That's a question which I'd never actually noticed before. I'm going to say no.
No, okay. Do you ever find that any of your characters hijack your story, or do you feel like you're always in control of it?
No, I'm not in control. But there are things that happen which I never intended to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe not so much characters. I'll tell you this, in the first Davy McCall book, Blood City, I've developed a reputation for killing off characters over the 4 books. And in the first one, there was a character in it who I did not intend killing off until I actually did it. And there was a character in the first one who I did intend killing off, but didn't do. So things change. It's not so much that a character will lead you with me, it's just that something will occur to me and I'll say, well, I'll just do that. And sometimes you come to a point, you say, what happens if I do this?
Mm-hmm.
And it feels right. But what you do with some characters is that they can run away with you. The character of Jimmy Knight in the Davy McCall books, who's the principal villain, if you like, over the 4 books, I really enjoyed writing him because he had very few saving graces. I did give him a few in the second book, but he really had very few saving graces. Yes, he was actually a good cop, but he was corrupt as all get out. But I liked writing him. I liked doing his dialogue. I liked doing the way that he looks at things, because it's really great being evil. Maybe an outlet. Whereas Davy McCall was hard to write because he didn't say a lot, and I like to write dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see the Dominic West books, Dominic West goes off 6 to the dozen. He talks a lot.
Mm-hmm. And is that reflective of you, or inspired by people around you?
I can be. I can be a bit like Davy as well. As a lot of my friends will tell you, that I can be very, very quiet, particularly in company, but I can just rabbit away, and that's an aspect of my nature that's in Dominic's, and that he likes a one-liner, as do I. Davy's nature is that he would shun any sort of social gathering. He prefers to be on his own. When he's with people, he says very little. And I've got to admit, sometimes I can do that, but my friends are aware that if I do go quiet, it's nothing personal, it's just that I've just gone quiet and I've got nothing to say.
That's it, you're just cooking up some more plots and crimes.
Well, I'm brooding in a romantic manner. I think that's the way I'm going for. like to get the old brood on. Whereas I don't think Dominic could brood. He can actually brood to Dominic because he has a past as well, and he's got things in the background that he's not proud of, and things that he's ashamed of, things that do affect him and have affected him. And occasionally he will get a brood on, but it won't be long until he comes back and says something completely off the wall.
Douglas, you appeared in Gangs of Britain, a documentary with Martin and Gary Kemp.
Yes.
How hard was it for you to stop yourself from singing Gold out loud?
I'd forgotten all about that. Very hard.
Very hard, okay. Moving on to a more serious matter. Your book Frightener, which you co-wrote with Lisa Bringley, was very instrumental in clearing 2 men wrongly imprisoned for murder. Now, as much as that could reflect any kind of crime novel, it was another case of misjustice. When they were cleared, did you experience a personal pride in being part of that, or was it an overshadowing dismay with the justice system?
Of course, I mean, I could say, oh no, I was just delighted for the men, but of course I was proud that I had been involved in that. I was only one of a number of people who were instrumental. Primarily it was the solicitor John Carroll who did all the hard work getting it to the final result. But of course I was proud that was there. The dismay over the justice system had been there since I began doing the case, which was back in 1992, I think it was, when I first became involved, 1991. That lasted until the early 2000s, and we could see how John Carroll's always said that the case was the example where everything that could go wrong under Scots justice did go wrong, and I think he hit the nail on the head.
Did you ever happen to meet the men?
Oh yes, I met them many times, and have met them subsequently as well, so yes.
Okay, given the miscarriages of justice, and you could point the finger at solicitors, corruption in the police force, the judicial system as a whole. You wake up tomorrow and you find that you've got the power to get rid of anybody who irritates you. Now, you can execute them, you can exile them, there's absolutely no comeback at all. Who would you pick, and how would you get rid of them?
Well, there are so many people that irritate me. I'm a grumpy old man, but obviously it's got to be politicians. They make me shout at the television screen most of the time, particularly the ones who come from a privileged background and go on about hard-working families. I mean, I think it would be unfair to name any specific one, so what I'd like to do is take them all en masse and take away all their money, all their power, all their privilege, and dump them in the middle of a housing estate where they have to work for minimum wage, and then they can find out what hard-working families are all about, because I don't think that they will get hanging. They can stop banging on about it, hard-working families, etc.
Just while we're touching on the politics there, obviously we've got this big EU referendum going up. Given the choice, would you rather talk like Boris Johnson or look like Boris Johnson?
Well, I think if I had to choose, I suppose look like him, because talking like him would necessitate that I think like, and I really wouldn't like to go that way. So I reckon I could put up with looking like him. Some people would probably say that's an improvement.
Well, I've seen the edited photo shoot pictures. What's coming up for the rest of this year, Douglas? I know you've been doing a tour with your 3 amigos.
Yeah, we've got the Crime Factor tour, the crime writing boy band. We're continuing with that. We've got Ayr next Thursday, and then after that we've got East Kilbride, Dunfermline, Livingston, Glasgow, Edinburgh. I hear we're going to Newcastle as well, so that's interesting. So that continues into August. The Dead Don't Boogie is available on Kindle at the moment, so it comes out in paperback in September. It's going to be launched in time for Bloody Scotland, which is in September. And after that, who knows? I know I'm doing something at the Tidelines Festival in North Ayrshire, and hopefully perhaps back to the Granton Festival later on. Yeah, I'm hearing about that.
Plenty to keep you out of mischief.
Yeah, and I'm currently writing the second Dominic West book, which is called Tag You're Dead. Certainly the crime writing, everybody I've met have been great. It's incredible with crime writers, how supportive and friendly they are. I'm told that the romantic novelists and the literary crowd are not quite like that.
Right.
But certainly in crime writing, it's like a big party with them, because they all seem to be very welcoming. They're very supportive. We tend to slag each other off, a great deal. But no, there's not anybody that I've met. Even a couple of the writers who people have said, "Oh, watch out for that one. They're this, they're that." I have found.
Who would you say was your absolute hero?
These are hard questions. In writing, I have to say it's Ed McBain, because he's the writer who has really inspired me to do everything that I've done.
Okay.
Because I loved these 87 Precinct novels so much. I read them from when I was a teenager. I've read them all many times, and I still go back to them when I need to get just a bit of magic to hopefully rub off. So,
if you could be a literary character, who would it be, and how would you spend 24 hours?
My favourite literary character is Shane from Jack Schaefer's Western, and so I would have to say I would love to be Shane. And how would I spend 24 hours? Riding a horse on my own.
You can only choose one. What would you prefer? Only being able to whisper, or only being able to shout?
Whisper.
4'5" or 7'7"?
4'5", because 7'7" you'd never be comfortable in a cinema.
Call or text?
That's a hard one. I think call is better, but more and more I've been texting.
Would you prefer to have legs as long as your fingers, or fingers as long as your legs?
No. Fingers as long as your legs. You make it tricky when getting gloves.
Mm-hmm.
We need gloves in the winter. Legs as long as my fingers. Now that would make it hard to get a pair of trousers. I mean, I'm just going to pick one because I know I'm going to pick one. I would rather not have either. Thanks very much. So we'll go for.
So you say neither to that question, but you couldn't decide between the Boris Johnson question.
Well, I'll go for fingers as long as my legs.
Okay.
Because that would be handy when I'm sitting at the other side of the room and the remote is on the coffee table, and I wouldn't need to get up out of the armchair.
Oh, good logic. Thank you very much. That's been really good fun. I'm really looking forward to the book coming out in September.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to be at bloody Scotland this year as well, so hopefully the Alive can boogie.
So the one brooding in the corner.
That's it. With the long legs, with fingers. Right. I hope you've enjoyed it, Douglas.
I have. Thanks very much.